Sai and Medusa. Sai walked down the hall, staring at the floor. He was the only creature at his new school with a single eye. Whack! Sai bumped into Mark, the largest minotaur in the school. Sorry, I didn't see you, Sai said. Can't you see at all? One eye? Mark asked. Just then, Sai saw Medusa heading toward them. That gave him an idea. He'd been at school long enough to know about her powers. I actually see something really cool over there, Sai said. Mark turned to look, made eye contact with Medusa, and instantly turned to stone. Then, without thinking, Sai met Medusa's yellow eyes. He looked down at his hands in alarm. To his surprise, however, he was still just Sai. Ugh! Medusa turned someone to stone again, a student groaned. A group dragged Mark to the nurse's office. Medusa burst into tears and ran away. Sai raced after her. Outside, he found Medusa with her face buried in her hands. Can I talk to you? Sai asked. Go away if you don't want to be turned into a statue, Medusa said. You looked me in the eye, and I'm fine. Sai said. Maybe it's my eye. I can't be turned to stone. Medusa peeked at Sai, and her face lit up. It's a miracle. You don't know what it's like to not be able to look at anybody, she said. I don't look at people anyway, Sai said. Everyone stares at my one eye. Imagine having a head full of snakes, Medusa said. I guess, Sai said. The truth is, I don't see well. But I don't want to wear my monocle. Sai pulled a round glass piece on a chain from his pocket. How silly is this? He said. It makes me stand out even more. Can I see that for a second? Medusa asked. Sure, Sai said, as he gave her the monocle. I won't be using it anyway. The school bell rang, and Medusa patted Sai on his shoulder. I like your one eye,
I like your one eye,
Medusa said.
Medusa said.
We need to get to shop class
We need to go to
before
shop class.
we're late.
Before we're late.
Sai smiled.
Sai smiled.
Hey, shop class.
Hey, shop class.
He said.
He said.
That gives me an idea.
That gives me an idea.
For the next 2 weeks in shop class, Sai and Medusa sat together. Sai worked on building a visor that would keep Medusa from turning people to stone. Finally, Sai handed the visor to Medusa. And she slipped it on. Inside, mirrors allowed her to look at people without making direct eye contact with anybody. Medusa sneaked toward another table. The students looked at her, and no one turned to stone. You did it!
You did it.
Medusa yelled. She rushed back to the table and pulled something from a drawer. I've been working on your monocle. She said. She handed the monocle to Sai. Medusa had wrapped the glass with wire and attached it to a leather strap carved with lightning bolts. Wow, Sai said, slipping it over his head. Thanks. Now this I'd actually like to wear. No problem. Medusa said. Thank you for helping me. When the bell rang, Medusa and Sai headed out together. For the first time, neither of them stared at the ground.